2, 3, 5 years. The Class A properties, like usually in industrial parks, those are usually owned by industrial trusts, and they get the Class A, they get like the big trucking companies, and they get the best tenants, they get Amazon, and they can do a 20-year lease in there, okay? There are a lot of real estate trusts that just do industrial properties, okay? And a lot of retail money that used to be, because most pension funds and institutional investors, they like to be diversified against a lot of different classes, but a lot of the retail money has now been moving into industrial and multifamily just because they think it's safer than being into retail. Okay, so it says that this is actually an increase of 10% over last year, and there's more than $491 billion in sales in this sector this year, so it's a big part. Part of the demand is due to Amazon expanding its warehouse space to accommodate same day and next day delivery. Amazon and other e-commerce companies are responsible for 40% of industrial property leases, with that number steadily rising as other brick and mortar companies rush to include e-commerce as part of their business model. So unlike multifamily, there are Class B, C, and D buildings. Some of them are very old, but if they're in good locations in inner city, they can.
I would say, speaking of good locations, a lot of these are now opportunity zones.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know a lot of these companies are starting to target these.
Right. Okay, so let's say you get someone that wants to rent or buy a warehouse. Let's do some questions that would be good to ask them. Is someone renting a warehouse, are they a tenant?
Usually.
Yeah.
But is that the best word for them?
No.
What is it?
Lessee.
Lessee would be the most technical, as they are a tenant, but tenant is actually more for multifamily. So, you know, just in the industries. Yeah. Okay. Here's the first question. What is it for? If it's for marijuana, it's gonna make it a lot harder for you, but you gotta know what it's for. Air conditioning. Do they need air conditioning? Okay, sometimes they don't need cool air conditioning, but they at least need chillers. If they have fruit or things that are perishable. So what are they gonna be storing in there? Okay, who knows what dock height is?
Isn't it like when you're backing the trucks up to those doors to like bring them in?
Yeah. If they do some serious action and they need dock height, that is a very specific type of warehouse that is more expensive, but those are the ones that have the places for the 18-wheelers just to back up. I mean, someone has to do some serious, trucking and storage for that, okay? But if they need that, you got to make sure that you ask and that you look for it. Now, if someone doesn't require a dock, or they don't have the budget for that, how are they going to get their products in and out of a truck without a dock height?
Pallet jack.
Garage door, like
Well, they use forklifts. That's a roundabout.
See, these are some of the things you need to know, because sometimes you can order from a company and you tell them, oh, we don't have a dock height. They're like, oh, no problem, we got a ramp. Or they could say, well, then you need to have a forklift, because you need to have a forklift come and take it out of the truck, because some truck drivers, all they do is drive. They just get it there. It's your job to get it out of the truck and to, whatever. So there's scissor lifts, there's forklifts, and then there's old-fashioned just pallet jacks if you're like really broke. But anyway, so you got to kind of know that kind of stuff, because you got to want to know what they're dealing with. I mean, if they only get like 1 or 2 deliveries a week of just a few pallets of things, then they might not need to invest in and they might also consider buying a used forklift that you can get for $4 or $5 grand, or leasing one for $500-600 a month, that kind of thing. These are some of the things that, got a new investor, you're not going to be the one helping them with this, but at least you gotta know a little bit about everything involved with this if you're gonna put them into a warehouse, okay? So that's one of the main things about a warehouse is how do you get the stuff in and out? All right. All right, so how many parking spots do they need? Okay, is it just a warehouse? They just got one little office in it that's going to be for like the warehouse manager, or do they need flex space where they're going to have like their office in the front and their warehouse going to be in the back? There's plenty of those, but you need to ask all these questions because they definitely are going to need their office space going to be air conditioned, even if they don't need their warehouse space air conditioned. Okay. Security. Some things, you know, some people getting a lot of, you know, expensive items. The security is a big thing. So then, you know, they're going to want to know if there's already like security cameras and fencing, all those kind of things. So these are all questions that you have to ask them because you don't want to be showing a bunch of things that are not fitting for them. Okay. You want to know there's something called the last mile warehouses where they want it to be close to, like that's like the last part. Like they want it to be close to the end of the distribute. They want it to be close to